Hello, welcome to the Daily English News program on Azərbaycan Televiziya. I'm Qocaman. On April 7th, President İlham Əliyev signed an executive order on additional measures to construct the Mingəçevir Station, Bəhrəmtəpə, Afşar, Salmanbəyli, Aşağı Afşar, Xocavənd Highway of Ağcabədi region. According to the executive order, 13,600,000 manats were allocated to Azərbaycan Avtomobil Yolları State Agency in order to construct this highway connecting 4 residential settlements with 14,000 inhabitants. Despite the beginning of vaccination, COVID-19 unfortunately still poses a global threat. In this situation, the only solution seems to be an internationally coordinated effort. The model of joint struggle and solidarity in the fight against the pandemic proposed by official Baku has received recognition in international organizations.
While positive results from the search for a vaccine give rise to optimistic predictions that effective results will be achieved in the fight against the pandemic, its inequitable distribution has disrupted the chain of control. In the days when some states are fighting the third and even the fourth wave and many poor countries cannot get vaccines, Azerbaijan's calls for the possibility of overcoming the global scourge only through joint efforts sound more relevant. The question of equal and fair distribution of vaccines is of paramount importance for this cause, yet we are all deeply concerned by the unequal and unfair distribution of vaccines among developing and developed countries. Some countries hoard several times more vaccines compared to the actual needs. It's clear that in such circumstances other countries will face vaccine shortages, said President İlham Əliyev. From the first days of the outbreak, our country quickly and adequately responded to this global calamity. Along with effective domestic preventive measures, Azerbaijan has also undertaken a global coordination mission. In April and May, online summits of the Turkic Council and the Non-Aligned Movement were held at the level of heads of state and government. At the summit of the Non-Aligned Movement, the President of Azerbaijan made a proposal to hold a special session of the UN General Assembly at the level of heads of state and government, dedicated to the fight against the pandemic. This initiative of the head of state was supported by 120 member countries of the movement and then by more than 150 UN member states. In December 2020, a special session of the UN General Assembly was held at the level of heads of state and government. And finally, on March 23rd of this year, at the initiative of Azerbaijan, the UN Human Rights Council adopted a draft resolution entitled Ensuring Equal, Affordable, Timely and Universal Access to Vaccines for All Countries in the Fight Against the Coronavirus Pandemic. It should be noted that Azerbaijan at the same time provided the World Health Organization with voluntary financial assistance in the amount of $10 million and provided humanitarian and financial assistance to more than 30 countries in the fight against coronavirus. Official Baku, which has already established itself as a middle power, has once again proved that the area and population of the country are not at all decisive factors in shaping the global agenda and acting as a kind of international bridge. The most important thing is the country's international reputation, initiative, and the trust won by its leader. This is recognized internationally as well. I welcome your leadership at the UN Human Rights Council on ensuring equitable, affordable, timely, and universal access to vaccines, and I agree with your opinion that we should do more in order to ensure fair distribution of vaccines, said WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. Thus, Azerbaijan believes that not self-isolation or isolation, not even life jackets, but cooperation will be effective in the fight against global disaster and therefore calls on the whole world to unite in this context.
Director General of the World Health Organization, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, on his Twitter account extended gratitude to Azerbaijani President İlham Əliyev. The post reads as follows: Thank you, Azerbaijani President İlham Əliyev, for your leadership in calling for equitable, affordable, timely and universal access to COVID-19 vaccines at the UN Human Rights Council. I agree we must do more to ensure vaccines are fairly distributed, together for vaccine and health equity, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus wrote on Twitter. On April 7th, head of religious confessions in our country visited Bərdə and liberated from occupation Ağdam region.
Among the arrived were the chairman of the Caucasian Muslims Office, Sheikhul Islam Allah Shukr Pashazada, members of the Gazi Council of the Office, head of the Community of Mountain Jews of Azerbaijan, Milif Yevdayev, head of the Community of European Jews in Baku, Alexander Sharovsky, head of the Community of the Roman Catholic Church in Azerbaijan, Vladimir Fekiri, head of the Albanian Religious Community, Robert Mobili, and representatives of the Orthodox Church. They visited the Alif Mosque and Jummeh Mosque of Berdar region. Chairman of the Kyrgyz Muslims office, Islam Allah said mosques destroyed by Armenian occupiers in Karabakh will be restored. The call to prayer will be sounded in these mosques in the near future. President İlham Aliyev's commitment gives hope for a prosperous future of all Azerbaijani people. These lands will thrive. All churches and synagogues, as all historical and cultural monuments, will be restored. Representatives of all religious confessions are here, which is a clear example of tolerance existing in Azerbaijan. Russian Orthodox Church and synagogues in Karabakh were destroyed after the occupation by the Armenian army. They kept animals, pigs and cows in our half-destroyed mosques. Press Secretary of Baku Azerbaijani Party of Russian Orthodox Church, Father Konstantin, said there were several Orthodox churches in the territory of Karabakh, one of them situated in the Kuropatkina village of Qocaman region. In Soviet times it was closed, but no one tampered it. But after the Armenian occupation it was destroyed. There are Armenian churches in Azerbaijan, and President İlham Aliyev is a guarantor of stability in the region. The participants of the trip visited the graves of the servicemen who died in the First Karabakh War in Ağdam, honored the memory of the national hero Allah verdi Bağırov, Ali Abbas Iskenderov, and other brave sons of our motherland buried in the Alley of Martyrs in Ağdam. Then prayers were read for the peace of their souls.
In accordance with the combat training plan for 2021, relevant classes are conducted with reconnaissance units to increase the level of their professionalism. According to Azerbaijan's Defense Ministry, during the practical classes, the main attention is focused on the activities of units in the daytime and at night in limited visibility and at weather conditions, as well as the maintenance and in other areas with difficult terrain features, taking into consideration the experience gained in the patriotic war. We continue to work to achieve sustainable peace in Karabakh. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said at the meeting of the parliamentary faction of the Justice and Development Party of Turkey. We were next to our brothers who fought for the liberation of Nagorno-Karabakh, an integral part of Azerbaijan, from the 30-year-long Armenian occupation, and gained a victory, Erdogan noted. 2,595 infections with the novel coronavirus were registered in Azerbaijan. 1,073 people recovered after treatment and were released home. 37 people have died after testing positive for COVID-19. The overall confirmed cases in Azerbaijan have reached 276,464, with 244,540 recoveries and 3,780 deaths. The number of active infections is 28,144. Detecting infection cases overall, 2,963,012 tests have been conducted in Azerbaijan. The task force under the Cabinet of Ministers reported. That was all for today. Thank you for being with us. Goodbye.